Now let us study the vector product, or also called as cross product of two vectors. Now suppose two vectors are a bar and b bar, then their vector product, as it is denoted here by a cross b, and it is defined as modulus of a, that is magnitude of first vector into magnitude of second vector, into the sine of the angle between the two vectors times a unit vector called as n cap, but the unit vector n cap is such that it is in the direction given by the right hand thumb rule. Okay. So we will see what that n cap is, but just to recap, a cross b is mod a into mod b times sine theta times n cap. Okay. Now if you just relate with scalar product, you see in scalar product it was cos theta, but here it is sine theta. So apart from that, the magnitude looks of the similar format. Now as you can see here, a vector product is basically a vector, right, because there is a presence of a vector in the definition. So let's go ahead and see how this n cap is determined. So that is what is called as the right hand thumb rule. So as shown here in the figure, suppose there are two vectors a bar and b bar, okay, as shown here. So to find out the direction of a cross b, we use our right hand and sweep the vectors in the same order, that is first it is a bar and then it is b bar. So by fingers of our right hand, if we sweep the two vectors, then whatever direction the thumb of the right hand will point, then that direction is the direction of a cross b, right? So a bar and b bar might be oriented in any direction, that is they need not be as shown here in the figure, but we still sweep them with the right hand and see where the thumb of the right hand points. So that is the direction of the a cross b. Alright, now let us go ahead and derive the cross products of the fundamental unit vectors as shown here. So the first set is the pairs of identical unit vectors. So suppose we want to do I cross I. So as per formula, it is mod of I into mod of I into sine of the angle between them, which is nothing but 0, right, and times n cap. Now here the magnitude is 1, so therefore both magnitudes are 1, but that is multiplied with 0, so therefore ultimately we get 0 or 0 bar. Now similarly we can say that the cross product of j and k with themselves is also 0. Now let us see what do we get for I, j and k, for which let us imagine this is x-axis, this is y-axis and z-axis, this is the origin. Now let us show the three fundamental unit vectors. So on x-axis it is I cap, then j cap, and on z-axis it is k cap. Now suppose we want to do I cross j. Again, as per the formula, the magnitude of I is 1, magnitude of j is 1. Now angle between I and j, as you know, that is 90 degrees. So therefore sine of 90, that will be equal to 1. Okay. Now we have to write the n cap, which is a unit vector given by the right hand rule. So let us decide what that n cap would be. So if you look at I and j, and if we use our right hand to sweep from I and j, clearly the thumb will point in the direction of positive z-axis. And the unit vector in the direction of positive z-axis is nothing but the k cap, which we already have, isn't it? So therefore we write k cap in place of n cap, because n cap is just any general unit vector in the required direction, and since we have k cap already defined, we use that. So therefore finally the answer of the expression turns out to be k cap. Similarly we can find out j cross k. So in that case also, if you sweep j bar and k bar with right hand, you will see that the thumb will point in the direction of I cap. And if we do k cross I, we will get the answer as j cap. Now let us see what happens if we change the order of these. So let me draw another figure here. Suppose we want to do, instead of I cross j, we want to see what happens if we do j cross I. Right? So look here once again. This is I cap, this is j cap, this is k cap. Now when we do j cross I with our right hand, we will see that the thumb points in the negative z direction, and hence the unit vector in that direction must be nothing but minus k cap. So therefore j cross I is nothing but minus k. Similarly, when we do k cross j, that will yield us minus I, and at the end when we do I cross k, that will give us minus j. So now there is a simple rule to remember this, that is, let's consider a circle on which we have three vectors, I cap, j cap, k cap denoted. So the figure is not just up to the scale, it is just for reference. And we draw the arrows in clockwise manner in their natural order in which the letters come, I, j, k. Suppose we want to do now I, j cross product, that is I cross j. Now while doing I cross j, you go from I to j, and in that, if you are going along the direction of the original arrow, then the answer would be the next vector and it will be positive. So therefore I cross j is k. On the other hand, suppose we want to go in the opposite direction, that is, suppose we want to do j cross I. You see here, while going from j to I, we are going in the opposite direction of the original arrow. So therefore the answer will be the negative of the remaining third vector. Right? So therefore the answer is minus k cap. So in this way we can easily remember the cross products of fundamental unit vectors. Alright, now let's go ahead and derive how do we actually calculate the vector product of any two given vectors. So here is the working procedure. Suppose that, as shown here, there are two vectors a bar and b bar whose I, j and k components we know. So when we do a cross b, we observe that we will have to do the cross product of both the expressions. So therefore a1i plus b1j plus c1k cross a2i plus b2j plus c2k. So now first we would be doing the cross product of a1i cross a2i, and we have just seen that the cross product of the two same vectors results in a zero vector. So therefore ultimately that will vanish, right? So therefore I cross I, j cross j and k cross k, these three cross products will vanish, they will be null vector. So now what remains to calculate is, let us write one by one. First one is a1 I cap cross b2 j cap, this is the first. Then a1 I cap cross c2 k cap. Alright. Now after that we will take up the second one, that is b1j. Okay. With b1j we will relate the first and third. So therefore plus we have b1j cap cross a2 I cap plus b1j cap cross c2 k cap, and lastly we will relate c1 k cap with the two elements in the second vector. So therefore c1 k cap cross a2 I cap plus c1 k cap cross b2 j cap, right? So now here we know that in the first I cross j will give us k, then I cross k will give us minus j, then j cross I will give us once again minus k, j cross k is I, k cross I is j, and k cross j is minus I. So you see that out of these 6 we get the 3 pairs, each having I, j and k with them, and this is nothing but an expansion of a 3 by 3 determinant. So therefore we can compactly write this entire evaluation in form of a very simple looking determinant as shown here, right? So in the first row we have I, j and k. In the second row we have the I, j, k components of first vector, so the order is important here, and in the third row we have the I, j, k components of the second vector, right? So whenever we are asked to calculate the vector product, that is cross product, we simply write this determinant and evaluate it, right? Let's go ahead and see some of the important properties or deductions of vector product based on their definitions. The first one says that A cross B is equal to minus B cross A. So that means if we change the order of vectors in a vector product, then the vector product becomes negative of the original. So you see here, like scalar product, vector product is not a commutative operation. Second one is A bar cross into bracket B bar plus or minus C bar gives us A bar cross B bar plus or minus A bar cross C bar. So we know that this is same as the distributive law. So the vector product is distributive over the addition or subtraction of the vectors. Third says that if A bar is parallel to B bar, then A bar cross B bar is 0, that is a null vector. This is simply because if the two vectors are parallel, then the angle between them is nothing but 0 degrees, or we can say that it's 180 degrees if they are in opposite direction. But in whichever case, the sign of these two values is going to be 0, which makes their vector product as 0. And lastly, another deduction which we'll be using often, that is A bar cross A bar is 0 bar. So we can call this as self cross product of any vector always gives us a null vector. Let us go ahead and solve one example based on finding out vector product. We are given two vectors A bar and B bar, and we have to find A bar cross B bar. So let us write the definition first. As we saw, it's a determinant having first row as I, j, k. Second row is the coefficients of first vector, so that is 3, 1, minus 4, and the third row consists of coefficients of the second vector, that is minus 1, 2 and 1. So therefore in the first case we have 1 plus 8 times I cap minus, in the second we have 3 minus 4 j cap, plus in the third we have 6 plus 1 times k cap. So that turns out to be 9 I cap plus j cap plus 7 k cap. So that's the required vector product.